Could you imagine him as a stand-up comic? I tell some of the best jokes. You take a look at some of these comics. They're a total disaster.
I'm never running out of sources for my political bits. Like sometimes I will bring certain issues into it and draw light to that. But a lot of times it's just kind of underscoring the nonsensical things that he says on stage and kind of take an angle to the comedy as well. In 2017, there were no comets that hit the earth and wiped out all of humanity. Believe me, that I can tell you. Like that to me is like the joke, right? Like what's next? I'm working in finance. I've been doing that for 11, 12 years, approaching that. When I started working in investment banking in Toronto at a big investment bank, the head of investment banking caught on that I do this stuff on the side. So they're like, you should do a bit at the Christmas dinner. And I did my Obama impression then, but even that was like so well received, like people were blown away. And then I realized, okay, there's something here. So I want to continue to develop this. And sometimes that can become challenging, right? Especially because I've got this job, which takes up a lot of time. Right, but the goal near term is to continue to write, as much material as I can and get back on stage as often as I can on bigger shows, right? So doing like more Thursday, Friday night shows on big stages like a Gotham Comedy Club. Part of being Indian is absolutely helpful to me as a comedian because it just allows me to talk about a different set of experiences that the audience may not have heard before. They think I'm half Persian, half Indian, sometimes fully African American. I get all of that.
So I could just imagine my reaction. Some racist cop pulled me over, right? Be like, you look mighty dark to be driving that expensive car, ain't you, son? I'm gonna have to ask you to step outside of the vehicle. Be like, yo man, f that. I'm getting out of a mother. You're under arrest. No, just kidding. No, the thing is, I was just joking, actually, Just listening to some Tupac Shakur just got out of hand,
Donald Trump thought Obama was Muslim. I think Trump just has it twisted with Muslims. He just needs more Muslim friends. And then who knows? Maybe he would even convert to Islam. He'd be like, Donald J. Trump has converted to Islam and become a Muslim, believe me. And I'm one of the best Muslims, okay? The Muslim people love me. So you take a look at some of these Muslims, they're a total disaster, believe me. So, when I'm on stage, I will try to highlight, my view of him in a certain way, but I'll do it through comedy. And a lot of the people in the crowd will actually look at that and they will laugh, right? And that's an important distinction because what he says is offensive, and it's offensive to many people. It is outright just offensive because of who he's targeting and what he's saying. Whereas as a comedian, what I'm doing is bringing to light how he speaks and putting it in a different context. And whether you're pro-Trump or not pro-Trump, you can still laugh at it and you can still find it funny. In some respects, the Trump era has galvanize this movement for non-Muslims to understand what the struggle is like and support Muslims. And so comedy can actually be a very useful tool. Big Brown Comedy Hour is a show that's produced by Dean Abdallah. It's very different than other shows in terms of just the diversity of the talent. Muslim, non-Muslim, it's like a mix of everyone kind of put together and just kind of supporting comics of all backgrounds. I believe that if you are someone that consistently pushes the boundary to a point that's unacceptable, that's not going to be a recipe for long-term success. The audience actually holds a tremendous amount of power. Right? So if you are attacking a certain topic and subject and you really want to push the envelope and you want to see how far you can cross the line, the audience will eventually show you all right, you're getting into territory that is unacceptable. For me, I've just kind of decided to take a stand, but still be ultimately, within the bounds of what is considered respectful. You can disagree with what I'm saying on stage and say, well, you're making fun of Trump, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be okay. He's the president of the United States and a billionaire, and he only owns one tie. Did you just walk into the store and he's like, I need to diversify my wardrobe. Show me your inventory. Well, we have a new collection of red ties. That's fine, I'll take that one. I won't be needing any more. You're fired.
Trump jokes are such a low ball. It's come out with something creative.
Come at it with something new, yeah.
Or something funny, like God, you know. But like it was, you know.
I'm very happy to hear that.
As a Republican, I actually think it's very important to be able to laugh at yourself, at other people, and also just appreciate the comedy. And I really thought that the impersonations were so spot on and so funny.
I have friends that are Republicans. I have friends that are Democrats. I have friends that are Muslim. I have friends that are non-Muslim. You can go to a comedy show and have people within that group that I described all sitting at a table laughing at the same joke. That is kind of an amazing thing.
Things are going well for Donald Trump. We got any Trump fans in here? Any Donald Trump fans? Well, half the crowd is lying. Oh my God.
When you really break it down and think about how divisive the world is right now, how divisive politics is right now, when you get Republicans and Democrats together and they're laughing at the exact same thing, I mean, that to me is like, there's a bit of bonding that's happening right there in that moment, in that instance, which is amazing. That experience, like, it just fuels you a little bit, because at the end of the day, I'm an investment banker. I work pretty long hours sometimes. It is two different worlds in many respects. What I'm thinking of in the morning when I'm going into work, very different thought and mindset than when I enter the comedy club and then leave the comedy club. We'll see where life takes me, right? I mean, I kind of have, you know, these two parts of my life where I've devoted time and energy in terms of work and then in terms of comedy. And I'm just gonna continue to drive forward on both. Comedy is a refuge. It doesn't matter who you are, what your religion is, or your background. There's always something that can make you laugh.